Spending. In the last 10 years, state spending, general fund spending, has increased, adjusted for inflation, at 8 times the rate of population growth. What do we have for it? Better schools, better transportation systems, a more robust job climate. For all that spending, we have none of those things. Why? Because the spending has gone into funding secure jobs and guaranteed pensions, and it's been poured into systems that are fundamentally incapable of producing what you think they should produce. So they don't. One-time spending cuts is part of it. You have to completely, I should say, you have to impose the discipline on Springfield, though, that they will never impose on themselves, which is why I've proposed statutory spending caps. You freeze state spending at its current level. You only allow state spending to grow year over year by the combination of population growth plus inflation. No more. And if you have a good year, thanks to my tax cuts, and businesses come back to Illinois, and we start being a robust economy with an expanding tax base, and you generate revenue in excess of that allowable growth, then that money is rebated to taxpayers. No rainy day funds, no slush funds, no funny accounting. You are on that spending discipline year after year in perpetuity. California did this in the 1980s. Colorado did something like this in the 1990s. In both of those states, during the periods where they had stringent statutory spending caps, they saw explosive growth. No kidding. You restrain the public sector from crowding out private investment, and you incentivize entrepreneurship. That's what we want to do. Pretty simple. And somebody invoked Mitch Daniels before. Mitch Daniels did 2 things in Indiana to turn that state's economy around. He slowed the rate of state spending growth. He reformed the state's property tax system. In the last 2 years, he has brought $15 billion in direct foreign investment into that state, more than any other state in the nation during that 2-year period. Companies that would have been much better cited for Illinois are going to Indiana because they look at Illinois and they say, "You're kidding, right?" No chance. Because I don't want to deal with that political culture, and even if I did, I can't make the bottom line work. I can't make my numbers work. No way I'm coming there. On K through 12, you want to change a system, any system, you change how the money flows and who gets to make spending decisions. So you want to keep pouring money into centralized bureaucracies like the Chicago public school system, which, by the way, everybody in this room pays for, because CPS, not primarily funded by local property tax dollars, primarily funded by state income tax dollars. So you're all on the hook. You're all co-conspirators in what CPS does. And the Chicago public school system, what do? They graduate half their kids. 6 of every 100 CPS freshmen in school today will get a BA by the time they're 25. 6 in 100 in a system of 400,000 kids. It's child abuse, and it needs to be called out as such. You are relegating kids, not just in Chicago, but in Rockford, in the Quad Cities, in Peoria, Decatur, East St. Louis. You are relegating kids to schools we know will fail them. You're relegating them to second-class citizen status because they will never have the opportunity to learn how to read, write, and think critically. Kind of important skills in a global digital economy like we find ourselves in. And this is why, again, Illinois is the bad example. This is why businesses won't come. It's another reason why businesses won't come here. Businesses look for educated workforces. We're not producing college graduates, and we're not attracting. And just to underscore that point, since I know this is an educated area, Schaumburg Township, a lot of college graduates, the New York Federal Reserve Bank did a study in 2007. Where do college graduates choose to live? They rank the states 1 to 50. Illinois, 45th in the nation where college graduates choose to live. Behind, West Virginia. Now, how could that be in a state with all the advantages that we have, centers of commerce, robust arts and humanities community, wonderful, strong suburban communities? Simple. Where do college graduates go? Where the jobs are. Where the jobs are, and they ain't here. So the challenge in this race, the challenge in this campaign, the opportunity and for the Republican Party is to provide constructive form to the anger and frustration that people rightly feel. The people who play by the rules in the state, who get none of the services but pay all the bills, for systems that are fundamentally wired against their interests. It is not an accident. It's a scam, and you have to understand that. And if we can speak with moral clarity instead of parsing words, if we can highlight contrast instead of blurring the lines of distinction, if we can be about system change ideas instead of tinkering on the margins, then we can win in November, up and down the ticket. But if we fall into the trap of going along to get along, which is what we have done for 25 years in this state, then they will beat our brains in again. Because they might not be good at governmental math, but they're very good at political math, and they will do whatever it takes to finance their political constituency, which is what you see happening right now with Quinn and Hines. So it is not about bromides, it's not about platitudes, it's about speaking with moral clarity about big system change ideas and offering the specifics for the path that we need to go. If we go down the same old path of bipartisan combine, the same old path of guys who go along to get along, who want to do whatever it takes to get invited to the right cocktail parties in Chicago, we've been down that path before. It's a dead end. The choice is not really mine. The choice is yours. You have to decide what kind of party you want to be a part of. You have to decide who we are going to be in this election cycle going forward, what policies we're going to stand for, and who, in terms of actual human beings, we are going to defend and fight for and keep our promises to in 2010 and beyond. Thank you very much.